Hey, Troy here with stayonthecourt.com. We are looking at practice planning for practice number 8 for my 5th grade basketball team. It is a boys basketball team. So we're coming fresh off our 4th and 5th games. We went 1-1 over the last weekend. And every weekend of games unveils some things that we need to work on for sure. So the good news is, I feel like we've got a lot of the basics in, or at least we've gone over, most of the primary parts of the game a couple of times. They're kind of starting to get used to what it looks like when you're tipping off and doing our pregame warm-ups and all of those things. So you don't have to worry quite as much about that. So, quite a few things to work on. So, we use the 5-out motion offense. And I wouldn't say that the kids, have it completely at this point, but they're getting a little bit better about the spacing. And so what I want to go back to is I've got a practice plan that's, how to implement, 5-out offense in 4 weeks. But when you're having to plan for, what happens if someone presses? What does substitutions look like? What do you do during a timeout? You kind of run out of time to do just the basics in the offense. So we're going to go back to I'm going to go back to that workbook and concentrate on some of those drills. So anyways, some of the feedback I got from our last game is, we have some kids that just love to get the ball on a rebound. Maybe they get a little bit of space coming out of the rebound, or the rebounder passes it out, and then they just want to put their head down and they want to dribble all the way down the court and see if they can score a layup. And I think we were 100% on that not happening this weekend. And I tell the kids that they are not going to be able to race all 5 of the defensive team players down the court, especially if they're contested, and get that layup. It's just not going to happen. So I felt by the end of the weekend, we had 2 games, they had understood that. In the second half of our second game, they did a better job of understanding that they need to just hold the ball up and make an extra pass. So that got slightly better, but we're going to definitely walk through that. So really, I'm just going to walk through the demonstration or the progression of a transition from defense to offense. And the big thing is I want to encourage them to pass the ball up the court over the half-court line. So, I've done that drill race car that you've seen in these videos. And by the way, if you want to get access to any of my little cheat sheets, or I've got, a Google sheet full of drills, let me know, troy.wallace@stayonthecourt.com. Or if you want me to do these live so more people can join in, I would be happy to figure that out. So we can do a YouTube live or something like that, so more people can jump on and we can talk real time. So what I wanted to do is I was going to invent my own drill, or I went and looked at my library and I found one that's a Coach Mac drill, who is an Australian basketball coach. And he's got his, what he calls the Mac transition. And what I like about it is the setup's going to be a little confusing to the kids, and that worries me. But I think once we get going, they will understand it. So it's essentially starting out dribbling the ball up to half court. And then what I like is that once they get to half court, we've got a little wing person here that'll be stationed here. They throw the ball to the wing. Then I'm always telling them that, even if they throw the ball from the other side of half court, that's still a pass. They still need to cut. So it will emphasize them cutting. They're going to get the ball back and get the layup. So another thing we probably won't do today, but in our practice, but just to give it up and get it back drill. But this will be similar to that. So, and again, I'm a little worried about this being a little too complex, but in the drill, then they have the shooter go grab the ball, and then the passer steps up, pass the ball back, and we won't probably do 3-point shots, but an outside shot out here. They grab their ball, and the rebound, and then the outlet to the person here, and the drill starts again. So we should be able to do both sides of the court and get both sides of the court going at one time. We'll probably walk through it, very deliberately at first with one ball, and then we'll try and do both sides. So, again, I just want to emphasize that, yep, it's okay that if you get the ball out here, you can dribble the ball up, but when we get to that half court line, you need to be evaluating what's going on, and the best case scenario is we want to pitch the ball up and then make your cut. So that is the plan there. All right, so we're going to do that. This point in the year, there just seems like there's so much I want to get to, but we also missed a lot of layups this weekend, so we're going to do some kind of one dribble power layups. I want to watch how some of the kids are shooting their layups and maybe make some changes there. I found a couple drills on really youth shooting, and these were for younger kids, but I think they will apply to some of my kids. So, it's essentially just getting them to use, bend their knees and get their lower body into the shot to generate more power. And there's a couple of kids that, have problems getting the ball to the basket. And so I want to do some drills that will emphasize that as well. So then everything else is from this. I don't think I have it up here, but I've got, like I said, a handout that I got from this guy, Coach Mack in Australia, that goes through putting in the 5-out offense over 4 weeks. And there he has a series of drills. So one is just a one-on-one attack drill, a rotation and drive. This just kind of simulates, and it gets the kids simulating scoring off of the things they do in the 5-out offense. So I want to emphasize that. I've been emphasizing that, they're rarely going to score off their first touch. They need to be, V-cutting, passing and cutting. And when they get the second touch, that's when they're going to have the advantage on their defender, and that's when you score. So all these drills, rotation and drive, rotation shooting, back cut drill, drive and kick, are all going to concentrate there. So we usually always do a little bit of our baseline drill that was productive, or our baseline out of bounds play that's been productive the last couple weekends. We've scored a few times on that. I'm going to change my sideline out of bounds play. The box one that I've been doing just has not been great. So I put in this one last year at the end of the year, and we did get a couple scores off it. And I think it can be used if we're getting pressured in the front court or in the back court. And we did face a team that, I'd love to have that game videotaped, but I believe that I think they had set up in almost kind of a half court trap. So those are the things I'm going to concentrate on today. I always like to do a game. So I always have a couple games on my list here in case we can get to them. Again, there's a ton of other things I'd like to do today as well, but I just don't know that we're going to get to them all. So I will end it there, and that's it. Thanks a lot. Again, stayonthecourt.com. If you are enjoying these, certainly subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to do them live, certainly let me know in the comments, and we will get that started.